Switzerland is renowned for its beautiful and dramatic natural landscapes. I hiked 6 of its most stunning trails, each best in its own category. Join me in exploring the wonders of the Swiss Alps. Switzerland boasts many amazing natural lakes, but there are also some astonishing man-made reservoirs. My first trail leads to a mountain that hides the most beautiful of them, the Limmernsee. The trail begins with a cable car ride, then leads through a 4-kilometer long tunnel directly to the lake, then climbs up to the main viewpoint and a hut which sits next to a second reservoir, which happens to be the highest in Europe. My main camera fell down here and the lens got a bit dirt on it. Sorry for the next few shots where it will be a bit visible. My second hike takes me to the Appenzeller Mountains, where I will hike to the Schäfler Hut that sits on the top of a ridge. The trail starts in a valley, leads along a picturesque lake, climbs up to a ridge and then goes along it, showing off views of cliffs that are amongst the most dramatic that I've ever seen. I will spend the night in the hut, then climb down, walking through an ancient cave with a built-in chapel and visiting a cliffside restaurant. This is a hard hike, especially in 33 degrees Celsius as I had to endure today. So for those who want less elevation gain, it's possible to do it the other way around, riding up with a cable car and then calmly hiking down into the valley.
Ale nie płacę polowaty, ja już widzę. Jak to za, no prostě napiera, no polowaty nie będziemy uważali.
Nie wiem, czy powojo, ale było.
Wie viel? Wie viel?
O, jakie bilicznie.
Hey, buddy.
When thinking about valleys in the Swiss Alps, there is one that stands out. It's Lauterbrunnen. I did a simple through hike visiting its famous waterfalls. Of course, in August it's crowded with tourists, but today that was about to change very rapidly. I have to hide here so that the tree doesn't follow me. That's what it's like being in a valley. Oh man. Ooh. Rain's actually a good thing if you are in a touristy place. You can just walk around and you're the only one. There's no one here. All of the masses are gone. Woohoo! Yoo-hoo! Since I missed the second waterfall due to the storm last night, I visited the next morning. It costs a few francs, but it's worth it, as the Trümmelbach Falls are Europe's largest subterranean glacier waterfalls, flowing through the inside of the mountains, and the only accessible to the public. The Oeschinensee is probably the most picturesque lake in all of the Swiss Alps. So it's very popular, and parking here is a big problem. I tried to find a parking lot for 2 days. At last I had to ask one local if I could park in their yard. She agreed for 10 francs. My trip leads me further south and includes a car train ride. I had never heard of such a thing, but basically you pay 27 francs, then drive onto an open-air train wagon which takes you through a 20-kilometer tunnel. All of it is done without leaving the car. My next hike lies in Zermatt, which is a car-free village, so I park my car in the previous town called Tash and take a train shuttle to Zermatt. Instead of cars, they move tourists and cargo in these electric boxes. I spent the first day exploring this legendary town, which boasts direct eye contact with the most recognizable mountain in the world, the Matterhorn. It was first ascended by a British mountaineer, but from his 7-man crew, only 3 survived. This made the Queen of England, Queen Victoria, to ban this mountain to British citizens, but the prohibition only increased the interest, and soon the quiet village of Zermatt had become one of the most popular in the Alps. My hike will lead me to the Hörnli Hut, which sits above 3000 meters and is used as the base camp for the Matterhorn climbers. The forecast says that a thunderstorm is to be expected at 3 in the afternoon, so I will have to start early and be quick.
Journey with Zermatt Bergbahnen to Trockener Steg via Furi and Schwanzsee.
It was 9:30 and the dark clouds had been rolling in much faster than the forecast had said. Some mountaineers passing me by told me to either climb up to the hut or climb down, but either way to do it quickly, otherwise the storm would hit me while I am on the ridge. So, I decided to abandon the hike. It is no shame to turn back when the risk becomes too high. They were words of wisdom the mountaineers had given me. As later I found out that 2 climbers had fallen to their deaths in that same thunderstorm. The Edelweiss is the most famous alpine flower, and I must admit, I have been looking for it in the Austrian Alps, the Italian Dolomites, the Spanish and French Pyrenees, to no avail. So I learned about the Schynige Platte, which hosts the highest botanical alpine garden in Europe and is almost 100 years old. And they say you can find the Edelweiss there. This hike is truly fascinating for other reasons as well. In order to get to the Schynige Platte, you have to take a 50-minute ride in a 130 years old train. And then on a clear day, the hike itself offers a 360 degrees panorama to some of the most beautiful places in the Swiss Alps. On a not so clear day as mine, you can observe the cloud games in the deep valleys surrounding this plateau. The second part of the loop faces the valleys of Grindelwald and Lauterbrunnen, as well as the giant peaks of Jungfrau, Mönch and Eiger. And then I had to do the last remaining thing of my trip, to find the Edelweiss. So I went to the alpine garden, searched for it quite some time, and then I found it. With this, my road trip through the Swiss Alps had come to an end. You can find all of the trails on a map on my website. You'll find the link below. If you found this video useful or just beautiful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more hiking videos.